Now we need to remember the primary suffix and the secondary suffix of all functional groups. Here we have a list of functional groups and their secondary suffixes. For example, if you have a functional group COOH, then the secondary suffix is oic acid, and if you have a functional group of SO₃H, then sulphonic acid is the suffix. If you have COCl, you will have suffix as oil halide. Alright, for COCl, oil chloride, COBr, oil bromide, and for CONH₂, the suffix is amide. For NH2, the suffix is amine. For OH, suffix is ol. For CN, the suffix is nitrile. So you need to remember these, because you won't be going back and checking out in the table what the suffix name is. So what you have to do is, you have to remember this table, by heart this table, so that when you are writing the IUPAC names, you do not forget, you are quick enough to write the names. So you need to remember the suffix names and the prefix names. When do we need prefix names? See, when only one functional group is present, then the suffix name of the functional group comes. If more than one functional group is present, then the functional group which has higher priority gives suffix, and the functional group which has lower priority, that gives prefix, because it becomes a side chain. For example, in a compound, if carboxylic group and OH group both are present, then we will have suffix from carboxylic group, that is oic acid, and OH group becomes a side chain, and we use prefix name of OH, that is hydroxy. Similarly, if we have in a compound CHO group as well as NH2, then CHO has a higher priority, so we use suffix of CHO, that is al, and prefix of NH2, that is amino. Alright, so the functional group which has a higher priority, we will take the suffix from there, and the functional group which is of lower priority, we take prefix name from there, right. So higher priority will, so prefix names are only required when more than one functional group is present. So higher priority functional group gives suffix name, and lower priority becomes a side chain, and we use prefix name for that functional group. So we need to remember prefix and suffix names of all functional groups, so that our writing process of IUPAC nomenclature becomes easy and very fast, right. Now few more things. If a particular side chain or a branch is repeating, let us say methyl comes twice, then you will have to write dimethyl. If in a compound methyl comes 3 times, you will have to write trimethyl. Similarly, for chlorine repetition, you can use di, tri, tetra, depending on the number of times a particular side chain is repeating. Alright, so you have to name it accordingly. And one more thing you have to remember, whenever suffix name has a vowel, then we have to remove E from the primary suffix. For example, if I take an example like this, now if I name it, I have to do firstly the numbering and giving the carbon which has OH the lower number. So I will start numbering from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I write the IUPAC name for this, I will have to see the root word for this. How many carbons are there? 5. So root word is pent. It is a single bonded compound, so you will have a primary suffix, that is ane, and at second position you have OH, and for OH the suffix is ol. So I will write 2 ol. Now in ol you have starting from A, so it is a vowel, so I have to drop this E, right, and then we add it up, and the name is like this, pentane to ol. So whenever the starting, if it is starting with A, E, I, O, U. Any of these is coming here after the primary suffix, then we will have to drop this E. Alright, just remember this. While comparing, if something is coming di-tri, we do not take di-tri, right? So just remember this, and that will make your writing process very easy. So you have to memorize these prefix names and suffix names so that writing becomes very easy. We have taken few examples out here, as in this example, if I explain it to you, then how it goes, like I'll just take this example. So how many carbons have we taken? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just showing the carbon skeleton. If I want to write, you can easily write each carbon must have 4 bonds. Each carbon must have 4 bonds. So one bond is there, so 3 hydrogen atoms. Here 2 bonds are there, so I will put 2 hydrogen atoms. 2 bonds are there, 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 bonds are there, 2 hydrogen atoms, right? Now if I have to place some group, as in on the third carbon you have CONH₂, I have to remove 1 hydrogen from here. I have to remove 1 hydrogen from here, so I will remove 1 hydrogen from the third carbon. Now how it becomes? It becomes CH, and 1 bond is free, and on this bond I can place anything, as in this example we have CONH₂ on the third carbon. So you can see we have 2 functional groups out here. First functional group is COOH and the second functional group is CONH₂. So here the priority for carboxylic is more as compared to CONH₂. So suffix name will come from carboxylic and prefix names from CONH₂. This is the main functional group, high priority. This becomes side chain, right? So the name goes like this. For CONH₂, in this table you can check out the prefix name for CONH₂ is carbamoyl. So I will write 3 carbamoyl, 3 carbamoyl, 3 carbamoyl, and how many carbons are there? 5. So pent, single bonded structure, so ane, and at first carbon you have carboxylic group, so 1 oic acid. For first position you can either write 1 or you can just skip. It is understood. We can write pentanoic acid without placing the position 1. You can write 1 or you can just skip 1. That will be the correct writing. Nobody can question that. So similarly in this example you have cyanide and esters. Carboxylic is CONH₂ is as well there. So which is a priority? You have ether, CONH₂ and CN. So among these functional groups the priority is high for CONH₂. So CONH₂ will give amide suffix, CN will have a side chain, CN becomes a side chain, and ether becomes a side chain as well. So the name goes like this. So you do the numbering from there. So at third position you have cyano, and at second position we have ethoxy. So what we will be writing, we write always alphabetically. So first comes cyano, then comes ethoxy, and total carbons are 4. So it is an example for butanamide. So the name goes like this: 1, 2, 3. So 3 cyano, 2 ethoxy, and butanamide. That is what name should be like this. We have to correct this.